Good afternoon, everyone. And hello to everyone who's watching us live online. Welcome to this session. My name is Sophie Ke, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager for Copilot Control System. I'll have Erica and Dave join me in just a moment to talk about everything from oversharing to oversight, managing risk in the AI era. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm excited to cover Microsoft 365 Copilot and the Copilot Control System, important feature announcements to help you secure and govern your Microsoft 365 Copilot deployment, and of course, sharing resources and to help you learn more and get started. All right, who's excited to learn more? All right, show of hands. How many of you here have already deployed and used Microsoft 365 Copilot? Amazing. How many of you are preparing, thinking about it, and not there yet? Great. So today, we're talking about how to secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot. And to start, we must share that Microsoft 365 Copilot is built on trust. It's the same trust that you have for Microsoft 365, how we protect, secure your files in SharePoint, your emails in Exchange, your team's messages. And that same trust also applies to the prompts and responses of Microsoft 365 Copilot. And how do we build that trust? It's with the same Microsoft commitments and controls and the tools to help you. So when it comes to these commitments and controls, what are they? We promise we'll secure your data at rest and in transit, encrypted. You control your data. We have those data privacy commitments. Your data is not used to train or enrich foundational models. And last but not least, you're also protected against AI security like harmful content, jailbreak attempts, and we have customer copyright commitments. With all of these commitments in place, we also provide sets of tools to help you secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot. Has anyone heard of the Copilot Control System? Raise your hand if you've heard of it. Okay, good. So we announced this last Ignite. So the Copilot Control System is a set of tools designed for you, IT professionals, to better understand and manage Microsoft 365 Copilot within your organization. So there's the security and governance pillar, management controls, and measurement and reporting. For today's session, we're going to focus on security and governance, data security, AI security, and compliance and privacy. So what are these tools? What are we covering today? The tools we're covering are the tools that come with Microsoft 365 Copilot, which includes SharePoint Advanced Management and Microsoft Purview. So with SharePoint Advanced Management and Microsoft Purview, we help you secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot. With that, Copilot honors your existing permissions, protects against data loss and insider risks, assess oversharing and provide remediation actions, supports your lifecycle policy and audit requirements, detect and investigate non-compliance and unethical usage, and also give you that much-needed guided assistance to remain compliant with all of these new AI regulations. But with all of the tools that I've talked about from Purview and Sam, we still heard that you need more to help you secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot. So what did we hear? And feel free to clap if it resonates with you. As an IT admin, I need a unified view of key security and governance features. Does that resonate with you? Yeah, awesome. And then also, I want to protect sensitive data, the most valuable content in my tenant, from being either processed by Copilot and sent as web query. Does that resonate? Is that blocking some of your Copilot deployments? Awesome. And then last but not least, yes, there are lots of reports out there to help me gain that visibility into oversharing, but how about some automation for that? Yeah? Awesome. So let's take a look at the first pillar, unified view. So as an IT admin, how many of you, and show of hands, work with SharePoint admins or data admins or compliance admins? Absolutely. Wouldn't you like to have that view yourself as well into that security and governance? So the need for a unified view. So when it comes to securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot, we heard you want to, number one, protect against data loss. You want to address oversharing concerns. And you want to govern AI to meet regulations and policies. And I'm super excited to announce that these Purview values to help you do all of these things are now integrated in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So what does that look like and what does that mean? So your Purview admin or your compliance admin will still have access to the Purview admin portal. We're not removing that and we're not moving that into the Microsoft Admin Center. What we're doing is providing you as the IT admin or the Copilot admin visibility. So let's take a look. Here I am in the Microsoft Admin Center, and I'll say Mac for short going forward. This is the Copilot overview page. Have you been on this page before? Has any of you seen this page in the Mac? Yeah, I see some nods. Awesome. So what I want to draw your attention to is there's a new tab. There's a security tab now in the Copilot overview page. And then also, you may have noticed there is now a new card here. It's talking about building AI momentum with Copilot chat. And it's telling you, as an IT admin, there are some steps that you may want to take to enhance security for Copilot chat and to explore that security page. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and that will take me to now the security tab of Copilot overview. And this is where, as an IT admin, you can now see the cards to prevent data leak, manage data oversharing, and strengthen data compliance directly inside the Mac. Let's take a look at each in detail. So the first one you'll see is preventing data leak. So I'm going to keep it a little suspense here, and my coworker Erica is going to tell you all about it in the next section. But there's the card right here for you as an IT admin to see what is happening and take action to prevent data leak. I'm going to jump to the next one, which is managing data oversharing. How many of you have heard about oversharing? Yeah? Is it one of the top concerns for you as an IT admin as you think about deploying Copilot? Yeah, I see lots of nodding. All right, so as an IT admin, you don't need to go to the Purview portal. You can see directly in the Mac how many sites they've found that Copilot has referenced and how many files. And how many of those files actually have sensitivity labels. So in this tenant, none of them. So I'm going to click to improve permissions when it comes to oversharing. So a flyout will pop up directly in the Mac for you so that it recommends you to work with your security admin. So your security admin can go to the Purview portal and run all the reports there to address remediation, and also work with your SharePoint admin for file permission with SharePoint Advanced Management. And once you're done as an IT admin, you can mark that as completed. Next, it's all about strengthening data compliance. So as new rules and regulations like the EU AI Act come online, we know how important it is for you to adhere to them. And that is why we have this card here directly now in the Mac to help you strengthen your data compliance. So what I see here at a glance is Microsoft has already completed 157 steps or actions to help me as an organization to stay compliant. But I notice when I click on View Details, there are 100 more actions that I still need to take to adhere, to improve. So this is a call out of same flyout that will come up. And now you can take a look at all the actions that Microsoft has done for you, and then click the recommendation in the blue to view the actual recommendation in the Microsoft Purview portal. So you can work with your Purview and compliance admin there. So with that, you will be able to address data leak, manage data oversharing, and strengthen your data compliance as an IT admin directly in the Mac. And I'm excited to announce that this is now rolling out to public preview to all of your tenants. With that, I would love to invite my colleague and friend, 𝗬𝗓𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, PMM for Microsoft Purview.
Thanks, Sophie. Hey, everyone. All right, so the next thing we heard from you is that you want to have more choices about how you can block sensitive data when working with Copilot. People are concerned about maybe it being sent to the web, or just meeting regulations about what sensitive data can be used with AI. So what is data loss really? It could mean so many things to so many people. We talk to our customers, our MVPs, our Microsoft employees, and really they're worried about sensitive data being used not in accordance with their company policies. The most important thing to remember is that Copilot is always going to use the permissions of the user interacting with it. It doesn't have its own special permissions. So as long as you set the permissions correctly for the user, you're all good. So today we do have an option for blocking some sensitive data when working with Copilot. So when a prompt is sent to Copilot or Copilot chat, if an admin has said, if this document has a sensitivity label, I don't want Copilot to ever use it for referencing or grounding. Like maybe you shared the link to the document in the prompt. It will block the graph grounding from occurring and then say in the response, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. And then when people don't reference the document directly, and it's more would be useful for Copilot to use that as a reference, that won't happen either if it has the sensitivity label. But we heard that not everyone has all their documents labeled, and that people are concerned about protecting all sensitive data, whether or not it has a label. We also heard that people were concerned that if there's sensitive data in a prompt, that when Bing creates the search terms that it sends to the web, it might include some of that sensitive data. And then there could be various reasons in company policies around not using maybe PII if you're in Europe and you haven't gotten approved by the Workers' Council yet, and you might want to block that. And then, of course, you want the freedom to create your own keyword lists and keyword phrases that are what your company wants to block. So we're really excited to announce today that we're going to be extending Microsoft Purview data loss prevention for M365 Copilot to safeguard prompts. So let's take a look at what is happening here. So when you create a prompt, if you have a policy, one of these new policies, that contains a Purview sensitive information type that the admin has specified, including a custom sensitive information type, like for your keyword list or key phrase list, when we go to do the Copilot safety check step, it'll check, hey, does this policy exist? What are the sensitive information that should be blocked? And is that sensitive information in the prompt? And if the answer is yes, the whole process just stops. There will be no graph grounding. There will be no web grounding. And the response will be the standard, the company policy prevents me from responding. So we're hoping that alleviates some of the immediate concerns around web search, and we look forward to adding more to this feature as time goes on. So let's take a quick look at how you set this up. So here we are back in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And we can see this first card that Sophie kind of teased. We would go over in just a second. I'm going to click Manage Policy to set this up. It's going to show me the top sensitive information types in my organization, as well as the sensitive information types that were included in the default policy that was created on your behalf in simulation mode, so you can kind of see what's going on with your data. It also, you can select the users and groups from here to target this to whomever you would like. Permissions-wise, only the Purview admin can change the sensitive information types that are included in the policy. But the AI admin that is targeted for this portal can change the users and groups. So as they're rolling it out to more people, they can add them to the policy. So it'll start out in simulation mode, which will show you what would happen if it was turned on. And then if you, oh, I forgot I added these in, sorry. So here's the sensitive information types that are included. And here is what the user and groups looks like, so you can specify specific users and groups. And then if I turn it on, it'll confirm. And then the card will show the impact of the policy ongoing. So how many blocks prompts is there? It'll populate that, so when you come back to the dashboard, you can see that it's working as you expected and having the impact you wanted. So I'm excited to announce that this feature is going to be included for all users of Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Chat without the need for any other license. We're excited about that one too. All right, so let's go to the last section, which is around automation and visibility. So again, if you're concerned about oversharing, people are saying, it's great that we have things like the SharePoint Advanced Management reports, data security posture management, data assessments, but we need to have it more automated, and we need more item-level visibility instead of site-level visibility. So we've kind of talked a little bit about oversharing already, but really it's when the employee has access to more information than is really necessary for their job. And SharePoint permissions can be a bit complex sometimes, and things happen. Maybe people put a file in the wrong place. Maybe they just share it with the wrong person and they didn't realize. Or maybe the files didn't have a sensitivity label on them protecting them. So we have two tools that really look at the oversharing problem and help you assess what's going on and then take action. Microsoft Purview works across all your data, including M365, Fabric, and then other places as well. And then SharePoint Advanced Management is your tool for site management and content management capabilities. And Dave is going to be on next to talk about some of the new SAM announcements. But let's start with Microsoft Purview. You may be familiar with our data risk assessments that we announced at Ignite last year. What I'm showing here is our default assessment report, which runs automatically every week. It looks at your top 100 most used sites, and it looks at things like, does a site have sensitive data? Does that sensitive data protected with a sensitivity label? And gives you some suggestions about how to remediate any oversharing at the site level. Oh, and by the way, you can create a custom assessment if you want to do more than 100 sites. So today we're announcing that we're adding more functionality to our data security posture management, data risk assessments, to look at item level investigation and remediation. So let's take a look at what we have. So here I am in the landing page, and you can see that at the bottom of the page, I have some custom assessments. I'll click on that, and I had already run a custom assessment and chosen that I wanted it to look at item level permissions, and specifically what sharing links are in the site. So this page has a lot of great information about the sites that I included in this custom assessment. You can see labeled, unlabeled sensitive data, the sharing link trends over time. And then at the bottom is a list of all of the sites that were included in my report and some top-level stats about them. If I click on View Items for this potentially overshared items report, we're brought to a new tab called Potentially Overshared Items. Here we are looking at all the sharing links for every file, folder, and then they're grouped together by site. This is so that you can take bulk actions on them, such as selecting everything in a site if you want. You can see information here, like what type of sharing link is used. Here's the Zoom version. What sensitivity labels are on the files, if anything. And then also the remediation status. So has somebody, like maybe one of your coworkers, already come in here and started looking at things? If I select a couple of these files, here's the actions that we are able to take. So again, zooming in, I'll go through each one of these in just a second, but those are the 4 we have right now, and we hope to add more to this as time goes on based on your feedback. So let's go through what these remediations are and how they work. So first, I can resolve the items. So what that means is I'm not worried about it. I'm marking the link as just fine, no additional action is needed. Or I could send a notification to the site owner, and it's the site owner, not the site collection admin or anything else. And you can select every document you're concerned about and send it as one bulk email instead of individual emails. Or you could just send them a link to the remediation dashboard where they can take the same actions that you see here. You could also assign a sensitivity label. This is a really great option if you want to balance security and productivity, because sensitivity labels can dictate who is able to access that document. For example, you might say that only people in your organization are allowed to open and work with that document. But if it's been, the sharing link is for external users, it'll work for both. It won't work for external users, but it will work for the employees. So you're enforcing your guardrails and company policies that way. And then last, you could remove the sharing link. So this is the very serious option. It does impact productivity, right? This is you, the admin, saying, nope, we just got to get rid of that right away. And then it'll also notify the owner of the site that you removed the link as well. So we're excited that this is now rolling out to public preview. So please start using it and telling us your feedback about what else we should add to the tool over time. And with that, I'll introduce Dave to come talk about SharePoint Advanced Management.
All right, thank you, Erica. Hello, everyone. I see we have a really packed room, which is great. I was kind of peeking out from the other side to see who's here. And I see a lot of people that I know, which is great. So we're going to talk about SharePoint Advanced Management, all the new things that we're bringing in. I'm going to do this really, really quickly because we have a lot of stuff to cover, and I have 10 minutes to cover, so bear with me. We will have another session a little later that will deep dive into it a little bit more. So that said, oops, I just clicked something. OK, there we go. All right, so the first thing that I want to call out is that, just to remind everyone, is that the reason we're building this SharePoint or these controls in SharePoint Admin Center as part of SharePoint Advanced Management is because SharePoint backs all the collaboration and all the content behind your, like basically what the Copilot and a lot of these tools that we talked about use. So, and because of that, we're building these right from where they're being generated from, so that you're kind of getting all those controls right where it all starts. Now, we have 3 different pillars for SharePoint Advanced Management. We have reduced sprawl, and that basically cleans up your Copilot real estate, or your content real estate that Copilot accesses to and reasons over, so that's really important. Control oversharing, I'm not going to spend too much time on that because Erica, I think, covered it, and you guys probably already heard this term before. And then once you do the cleanup of sprawl and oversharing, the next thing you need to do is make sure that that doesn't happen again. So that's why we have lifecycle policies in place to help you kind of look through, just continually keep everything clean. Now, one thing I wanted, actually, I'm going to announce a whole bunch of things in a row. So the first thing we're going to talk about is content management assessment. I will show you a slide at the end that shows all the things that SAM has. But partly because it has now a lot of reports, a lot of functionality, et cetera, I get customers often asking me, hey, Dave, where should I start, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff I can do. Where should I start? And even before that, like, do I even have a problem that I need to go fix? So now we made this really, really easy for you. You can just come to the SharePoint Advanced Management page, which is in SharePoint Admin Center. There's an assessment. You click one button. Once you click the button, we'll kickstart a whole bunch of processes and a whole bunch of reports in the background that will take about 24 hours to sometimes up to 5 days to generate, because all the reports take time to process. But then once they're generated, you're going to get a really quick and simple scorecard. It's not a score. I did say the word score. I was trying not to say that. So it's not a score. It's just showing you a number of items, number of slides that you have that potentially need attention. Okay, so that either has to do with sprawl or oversharing. So we have 2 sections. This area is going to develop over time, but we're starting with this. So this gives you a kind of a really quick overview to show you whether you have an issue or not. And then you can go through and just click on each of these things, and we'll give you like a breakdown of why it's a problem, what things you need to do, in what sequence, et cetera. We hook up all the Learn articles, et cetera, to this page so that you don't really have to kind of worry about understanding and figuring out what you need to do first, second, third, et cetera. So that makes it really super easy. Content management assessment is now generally available to you guys, so you can start trying that out as soon as you get back to office. The next thing I want to really quickly announce is catalog management. So this is a whole new area that we're bringing in. So one of the things that we've been missing in SAM and content management in general is really showing you how your content is structured across your tenant. So now you're going to be able to do that. So it's a report we will pre-generate for you. You don't need to wait for it. So as soon as you go there, click on content management, you will actually see the report and all the data already available to you. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We'll cover a little bit more details in the next session. But this is going to be essentially an area where you can start seeing how the content is distributed. If you notice, we're actually breaking it down by region, department, user type. If you're using multi-geo, we'll break it down by PDL, or preferred data location, and information barriers as well. So that way, this is kind of sets up a foundation for you to start kind of thinking about maybe governing things in more surgical way, right, instead of entire tenant. One thing that, when I talk to customers about this, they're really excited, especially about the location and department, because you have different municipalities, you have different countries that sometimes the tenant and content is spread out, and they need different kinds of policies and different kind of governance. So now you can actually start setting that up at much more granular level. All this is going to get integrated in all the different SAM policies. And we'll talk about the governance agent in a minute. It's also going to be using this as grounding data to help you identify things and actually manage things. So catalog management is actually starting to roll out to public preview as we speak. So hopefully this is exciting to you. If it is exciting, let me know. All right, awesome. Okay. So next, permission reports. Everyone is familiar already with data access governance. So we have lots of different reports there. This is, so in permission reports, we have several reports. One major one that we've been talking about up until now is permission state report, which gives you an overview of your entire tenant, all the sites in your tenant, and how they're permissioned across the board, and it lets you manage those things on a continual basis. You can initiate site access reviews, et cetera. Now, what we're adding is user-specific permissions. So what you can do is, let me actually show you. It's a new report that you can set it up, and it works for SharePoint and OneDrive. The next thing is you can actually select up to 100 users that you can run the deep dive report on permissions. This is a really cool functionality. I've been hearing use cases around like offboarding users, for example. You can kind of really quickly do a deep dive and understand what that user has access to, right? And then really move the access around to the right people or to new people. And then this is the report that it will generate, essentially. So it's a deep dive report on an individual level of everything that that person has access to and is permissioned to. So all the different sites across your content footprint. The few things that I'm highlighting there that are worth paying attention to is the sites shared. Obviously, it's a pretty straightforward kind of a column there. So if the site is shared with someone specific, that's great. Now the next one is site was shared directly with the user, which means someone added that user's name to the sharing, so they was directly shared with them. So most likely the user knows that they have been shared that file. The second one is indirect access. So someone indirectly shared with that user, which means that user was maybe part of a group that group was part of the team, and some link was shared in the team, and now that user has access to that content indirectly, meaning they might not know that they have access to this. Now, as far as the Copilot is concerned, obviously, as long as you have access to it, the Copilot will honor and actually go and search through and reason over that content. So this is a really, really important deep dive report. Now you can actually start isolating all these things. And we are going to add site access review to this report as well. It's not there yet, but it will be coming shortly. So the next one I really want to quickly announce is Agent Access Insights. So this is a really, really big report. We've been hearing about agents this entire conference, right? So now you're actually going to be seeing, see how these agents are accessing the content and using the content. So this is another really, really important one because you can control the agents, et cetera, in Microsoft 365. I think we talked about that earlier. This is more around not really turning off the agent, but really managing what that agent has access to and what is it reading and what is it doing. And obviously, you can restrict the agent access with restricted site access and restricted content discovery as well. And this is just showing you how to do that very quickly. Now, permission report and the agent insights reports are both going to be rolling out to general availability as well. So thank you. This were really, really highly anticipated one, so I'm glad that you like that as well. Now, there are a few other things that I want to call out really quickly is you are already aware of restricted access control and restricted content discovery functionality that's part of SAM. We are now allowing you to delegate that capability to the site admins, right? So this is important. And the reason we built this is because one of the things that we're getting feedback on was, hey, okay, so I ran the permission state report, I identified sites, I initiated RCD, let's say, on some of those sites, but I might have 100,000 sites. I'm not going to be able to, as one admin, go and do this manually all the time and turn on, turn off things. So I really want to scale this. So the way you scale it is by delegating it to trusted individuals, which are usually the content owners of that, right? So that's pretty cool. And you can do that for restricted access control as well as delegate this capability to restricted content discovery as well. Is this exciting?
Yeah.
All right. So this is just an example of what it looks like for what it would look like for the site owner. So they will have extra powers now to exclude things from the Copilot. Now, both of these delegation capabilities are going to be rolling out, or actually already started rolling out to public preview. So super exciting. The team worked really, really hard. I have some of my team members here that have been really working hard to get this out to you guys quickly. The last thing I want to really quickly talk about is content governance agent. So this is a really, really big one. So this is not an agent that you build separately. This is an actual governance agent that is available to the SharePoint admins in SharePoint Admin Center. It's going to help you do multiple things, right? So again, kind of going back to my original kind of a feature that I announced, the content management assessment, we are hearing a lot of customers basically saying, hey, I need really help to kind of get going, get things moving forward. You guys are launching things really fast. It's not, I don't have time to adopt and learn all these things. Like I just have a problem. I need to go fix the problem. Well, now you're going to be able to do that. So Content Governance Agent is a really, really big leap forward, in our opinion, to really help you govern this content at scale really quickly. So it's going to help you. It's going to start out with 4 different things. So 4 different categories of skills. So permission management is one. You will have access to all your permissions reports and all the data across the board. We are actually adding new capability to this, storage management, which will now have access to content and storage data that you actually, as an admin, don't really have readily available to you. It's all in the background. So now the governance agent will have access to all that data. So you can start asking questions, and you'll be able to do summarization. It will be able to help you identify things that you need to do and actually take those actions for you as well. Lifecycle management and access management as well. Now, this is a really quick demo of what that's going to look like. And so basically, as of right now, it's going to be living as part of the Copilot. So when you initiate the Copilot, there's I call it the sparkle menu, like that thing that is highlighted. When you click on it, you'll see all the skills that the governance agent can do. And then you just kind of click on the skill. This is an example of what it can do. So as you see, or if you remember from the previous, one of the previous skills or capabilities that I mentioned, the catalog management. If you notice, there were region breakdown of content. So now this is just showing that the catalog or the governance agent is actually using that data to really give you much more like broken down feedback and answers that you can actually action on. And it will actually give you recommendations and also help you action on those recommendations as well. So really, my goal is for you to not necessarily need to know anything. You just need to know the problems that you're trying to solve. You just come here, and and the governance agent should be able to help you get started, get going, get educated, and then start taking actions. Okay. So the governance agent is starting to roll out also to public preview right now. So the reason we wanted to kind of do this announcement and also let you know that we are starting to roll out these things, because sometimes we announce things and then things come in a little later. So now we want to let you know that things are moving a lot faster, and you're going to start seeing them quickly. Now, this is everything that SharePoint Advanced Management has so far, and everything that is in blue is coming in new. Okay, so these are the announcements that I just made. So you can see that it's kind of turning into a pretty well-rounded suite of capabilities for you to use. And I am here to also listen to your feedback also, and apply that feedback to our future things that we're doing as well. All right, and with that, I'm going to bring back my colleague here and my friend.
Why not your friend?
All right.
And friends.
Yes. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
And thank you, Erica. How exciting. So all of these features that was just presented are now available to give you that unified view, to help you block sensitive data from processing, and to provide automation and visibility. Are you excited? Great. So what do I do with all that information? What do I do with all of these features that we've just announced? So we're also excited to give you this as a takeaway. This is our agent blueprint. So for the security and governance section, it applies also to Microsoft 365 Copilot. So this agent on the security side, it applies to both Microsoft 365 Copilot and Microsoft 365 Copilot agents. We'll give you step-by-step guidance to help you prepare for the deployment, what to do to secure the prompts and responses during deployment, and how to offer that ongoing management. So be sure to scan that QR code or visit this blueprint at aka.ms/copilot/Microsoft 365 Agent Blueprint. Also, we have a brand new website for Copilot Control System, as well as related blogs to learn more about Copilot Control System, data security, and security for AI. Be sure to check those out. Last but not least, make sure you don't miss any of these related sessions. So they will be available to view on demand. Be sure to check them out. And if you have any questions around Copilot Control System, security for AI, SharePoint, be sure to stop by the expert meetup booth. So we talked about Copilot is based on trust. We're providing you our commitments and controls built in, and all of these amazing new announcements, these tools to help you secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot. And with that, our mission is to make the world a safer place for everyone. Thank you.